Hi, welcome back to training. We are going to dive into a little bit of concept as well as application today as we dive into sending out onboarding campaigns. What is an onboarding campaign? I will tell you, have you ever heard the old saying that you only get one shot at a first impression? Your onboarding campaign is exactly that. This is your chance to really make a good first impression with the people that you are serving with your service, your program, your product, whatever it is that you offer. And so I want you to think about it. There's a couple different ways that onboarding campaigns happen. It's anytime that somebody gives you their information for the first time, or maybe they give you another level of information for the first time. So that could be maybe they give you their email in exchange for something free that you're giving up. Maybe you have a recipe or some kind of a guide that you are giving out. And you say, just give me your email and I'll give you A, B, or C, whatever it is that you give out. You need an onboarding campaign. Maybe it's at the next level where someone actually purchases a product or purchases a service from you. And now it's okay, I did this. Now what? You need an onboarding campaign. If you are someone who is recruiting team members and they've signed up and said, okay, I'm going to commit and join the business with you, you need an onboarding campaign. So what exactly does an onboarding campaign do? I will tell you first and foremost, before we even dive into this, this is your first chance, your last chance to make the best impression based on the level of investment a person has made. Whether that's they're just getting to know you because they just downloaded a guide from you, or whether that is they are like all in and have purchased a product from you or a service from you, or they're like, I'm even further in than that. I'm like cannonballing and I'm joining your team. This is your chance to make that shot. This is your chance to say, here's who I am. Here's what you can expect from me. And you can trust this is going to be awesome. They get to know you. They get to know what you're all about. Plus, they get to know how you're going to serve them. So it's really important. So the first thing you need in any onboarding campaign, you have to have a welcome email and a kind of here's your first step. So tell us a little about you. And I'm gonna give you an example of one that we built that's just a really basic. I recommend most of your onboarding campaigns, and I'll give you some of these in the future. But today is about building, so I'll give you some of these in the future. But you should typically have three types of onboarding campaign messages. There should be three messages that go out. Okay, the first message should be your welcome email. This is like for a brand new person, you're saying, hey, welcome. This is me. I'm so excited to have you. I want to share with you all about myself, but then I want to get to know you. That's number one. It's going to have some information in it like, here's where to start. This is who I am. This is what I'm all about. I'm so excited. Thank you for trusting me. And let me tell you a little bit of what needs to happen next. And that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to do a very simple welcome email. Okay, very simple welcome email that just introduces yourself. The next couple emails, you have a couple options, and I will I'm going to give you a couple of them now that I think are good. One would be what we call a bonding messages, couple bonding messages, and what bonding messages do is they allow us to create kind of create a bond, if you will. It's allow us to give them more value than they even asked for. So when I give you something more of me than you expected, we bond. And I'll share with you in a future training what a bonding campaign looks like within your onboarding. And then another type of message would be the how can I help you, which is actually one of my favorite. How can I help you is really just a follow-up message. So if you just wanted to do two, you would do a welcome email, so giving them a little bit about you and their next steps, and then you would follow it up with like, "Hey, I know you joined this, but I'm here to serve. How can I help you?" And those are really good for low-level email exchanges, right? Or text messaging exchanges. They're really good for low level. If you have a product or service, you're going to want to follow up based on the product or service, things that are going to get them ready, things that after they're waiting for their order to arrive or checking in to see how they're doing. Those are a little bit higher level. They're more custom. But what we're going to do here, now that we've kind of spent some time going over that with you, we're going to show you a couple really cool things that I have given you that will help you. So if you're a Content AI subscriber, you're going to love this. Content Genius AI, you're going to love this. So let me show it to you. So we're going to go to Content Genius here. I'm actually going to open this in a new tab so we don't lose what we're working on over here. Oh, it's not going to let me. Of course it's not. So let's go to, there we go. Let's just do this. While that's loading over there, um, we're gonna go into Content Genius. Okay, so let me show you what I've created for you in Content Genius. This is brand new, just created. If you don't know what Content Genius is, this is if you're someone who wants to understand AI, but you don't really know all the steps to take and how to get really plugged in to all of it, then this is why I'm here to help you. We actually create the questions because content is AI is only as good as the way you feed it, which is called prompting. And so what we've done is we've taken the guesswork out of prompting and we've come up with categories. And as you can see, there's a lot of them here. This is just the beginning, but we're adding new ones. Like I just added this onboarding email. We have a lot for our Genius tools. You just come right inside here and I can say, let me just see all the Genius tools. So these are all the prompts we have for Genius tools, where if you just click them, you give it the information, it's going to spit out the response for you. So you don't have to worry about it. AI will do the work. And it's included, right? If you're a Content Genius member, there's no cost. It's just included. You can do as many of these as you need. So we're going to go into messaging and we have an onboarding email. So we just created this onboarding email. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Content Genius to create an onboarding email. That way you'll have a good start, right? And then we'll talk about the automation side of it in a second. So let's paste this in. So we don't know their name right now. So I'm just going to use our standard. This is our standard merge tag that we use inside of Social Connector. And let's just use me as an example. So Social Connector plus subscription. So that's what they just signed up for. Then it's going to ask, what's the first thing I want them to do? Well, the first thing I want them to do is I want them to join the Facebook group. Okay. And then I'm going to say at. Right? So that's the first step I want them to do. Well, and you can make these as long as you need. Okay. This can be, if you want to really go into it, like maybe the next thing they need to do is make sure they add you to their whitelist so they don't miss any emails, or add your phone number to their contact list so they don't miss any texts from you. Like whatever the steps are that you want them to take. For me, it's let's say install your tools. You can learn how to do this at okay. So the second thing I want to do is install their tools. And the third thing is I want them to join us. Join the live trainings Monday through Thursday at 11:30 a.m. PDT. Right? Then what's your preferred method of contact? How's the best way? I'm going to say, let's have them text me, and I'm going to put in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then who's the contact person? Who do you want him to reach out to? So let's just say Jeremy. And what's the tone of voice? So let's do excited. All right, let's do excited. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit submit. And over here, you're going to see that it's starting to create our email. So it's going to create an email for us, an onboarding email. So this is pretty cool. If you're wondering, like if you don't have Content Genius, the cost, if you're already a subscriber, is only $22 a month. You can subscribe to it separately for $27 a month, but for $22 a month, you get these and we add to them all the time. So check this out. Welcome to Social Connector Plus subscription. Hey, customer's name. We're thrilled to have you on board with us. Thank you for getting the Social Connector Plus subscription. We can't wait to see how it'll help your business grow. As a new subscriber, we want to make sure that you get the most out of this service. Below are recommended onboarding steps that you can start with. See, this is a good welcome. We've just given them a welcome, right? And you'll notice right here, it has my name in it. It says, oh, if you need any help or questions, please know that our team is here to assist you. We'll fix this in the prompt. Can you get in touch with us? Text message at contact or by sending an email to your email address. We hope to find Social Connector Plus subscription valuable addition to your business. And we're excited to have you on the team. So we're going to fix this prompt. I see that right now. I'll just fix that later, but doesn't change anything about what we're doing today. So then what I would do is we're just going to take this. We're going to copy this. Okay, copy. Now let's come into Social Connector here. Let's go into our dummy account. Where's my dummy account. There we are. So into our dummy account here, and we can actually just do it right here. We'll go into marketing, and let's go into emails. And there's two ways you can do this. Now, you can do it this way, which I'll show you. You can create an email that is a little bit more fancy. And the way we do that is through emails, and we click on templates. And then you're just going to click in here and click new, and we're going to create a new email marketing template. Okay, I'm going to use a really simple one. So you have tons of these. We have 160 templates you can use. I'm going to do a really simple one. I'm just going to use this simple right here. Select it, click continue. Okay, and it takes a few seconds to populate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this right here. Okay, there it is. Now this is like a fancy one. So what you would do in here, you can drag and drop. You can do all those types of things. We're not going to worry about that today. We don't need to do anything fancy. We're just going to use what we have, and we're going to create a new email. So here's how we do that. So this would be an image. So like, let's start here. So we're going to come in here. We're going to replace it. I already have in my media library, I've got my logo. I'm going to delete this one. I don't really need it. Now here, we're going to paste our information. So let's just copy the whole thing, and we're going to paste it right there. So check this out. There it is. Now, if I want to change it a little bit up, I would just come over to this side here, and we're going to get rid of this. We don't need this. This is not going to go here. Okay. Now we come in here and we don't want customer name. What we want it to be is contact first name. So we're going to change this to contact first name. Okay. And let's make it all a little bit bigger. I like it to be bigger. So 16 point, there we go. And then from here, if I wanted to, I could get really fancy and I could use these buttons here. So I could come down here and say, we'll do it for this, but you could create buttons, and you could, for each of these things. So it says join the Facebook group. So there's the link, right? So we have the link right here. Over here, we could take this link, and for now, I'm just going to put it in and paste it as a link here. Okay. Click save, and I'm going to underline it. So it just stays underlined. You'll see it right there. Okay. I could do that. I'm going to actually bold it too. Okay. So it just makes it good. You can do it like that. Or I could, and this takes a little bit of work, so that's why I'm not going to do it today, but you could take and you could duplicate this, right? And then you could drag this up, right? And then what we do is we come inside of here where it says Facebook group. We're going to do this. We're going to delete everything below that. Okay, so now when it's done over here, deletes everything below that. See how that is? And then we could change this to this URL. Remember, we copied it already, so we're going to paste it, social connectors, and we'll change the color because that's not the color that I like. And instead of saying call to action, we're going to, up here at the top, we're going to type in join the Facebook group now. So we could go through and we could do all that, right? So we create this, then we come down here. Now we're into this one, and we get rid of everything that happened after the Facebook, or before the Facebook, excuse me. Now we've got our second things that we want them to do. We want them to install their tools. So that's what we could do. We could add an image here at the end if we wanted. We could add more stuff here. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to delete this because that's not what the point of this is. That's how you can build a template. And then from here, you would come in and you would click save the template. It's called Onboarding 1. It's now saved, and you could exit. We'll do another training that's all about all these things. So here, click save again. Okay, and so now we've got Onboarding 1. Now, what would we do? How would we send this to people? And so this is where we would come in, and we would either do it from a form, which we haven't got to our forms training, so I'm not going to do that. You can find forms training another time, but we'll just use tags because we've been using tags for a while. So we come into our automation, we create a new workflow. Let's start from scratch. We're going to create let's name it. We're going to call this onboarding. Okay, and we're going to combine a couple things that we've taught you guys before, right? So we're almost out of time, but we're going to show a couple things. So first, let's make our trigger be a contact tag is added. Okay, and we're going to call this onboarding or let's call this new customer. Okay. And then we're going to create tag added, and we're going to type in new subscription. Okay. That's going to be our, I typed it wrong, but who cares? Doesn't really matter. That's what it's going to be. Okay. And then we're going to click save. So now this is our new customer. It's going to happen whenever this tag is applied. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click, what's the action we want to have happen? We want to send an email. So we're going to click send an email, and we're going to use a message template. We're going to call it onboarding. Onboarding 1. There it is. So now you won't see it. When you use a really specialized template, you don't get to see it here. But then from here, we're going to do the from name is going to be Jeremy from Social Connector. The from email is going to be info@Social Connector. The subject is going to be welcome to your Social Connector Plus membership. And then I always like to put in their name. Okay. And now there's the email right there. So we click save it. Cool. And then we're going to wait. This is where we're going to combine some things we learned. We're going to wait. Just wait about 3 minutes. Save. Then we're going to send an SMS. This is assuming that you've gotten permission to send them an SMS, but we're going to send them an SMS. And we're going to say, hey, this is Jeremy from Social Connector. Your account is ready to go. Please check your email for details. We're going to save that. Now, here's what you would do. We've only done the first email, right? We've only done the first one. What we would then do is I would recommend that you send your emails probably 1 day separated would be your next email. And then you would wait for about a week and do a week-long follow-up email. How are things going? Or depending on, you know what you're doing. If you've got a program that gets ordered and it takes a few days to get there, then time it out based on when the order goes through. Or if you know that there's some training that you want a person to jump into, then you time that out and see what it is. But then you could wait. You could create a wait. Let's say you wanted to wait for 2 days. Okay. Save that action. And then you're going to send your next email. So you're going to create an email. You can use templates, or you could just build it right inside. So if I wanted to build it right inside, I would just come in here and I would begin to type all the things I want to type. It's a little bit less pretty. I actually recommend you do this at first, as the prettier emails can be a little bit more complicated. So I actually recommend you use this at first, or that you use our really basic email builders, which is under templates as well. So let me show you that. I showed you this the other day, but I recommend you come into templates and you create a new email template here, which is a little bit simpler, right? But you can still add pictures. You can still do all those things. Just do it. It's a little bit simpler here. So that, my friends, is how you build an onboarding email utilizing Content Genius AI, as well as create templates, both fancy and non-fancy, and then throw them into an automation workflow. Hope this is helpful for you today. If you have any questions, you can always jump in during our open office hours, and we will answer your questions for your specific uses.